Hello, fellow YouTubians. My name is Jerry Andrews Jr., also known as the J5 Guru. So I'm going to be changing the threads in these lithium iron phosphate batteries. The ones that are supplied with them suck. I've stripped all of them out. I have retapped all of them to, I believe, 630. No, it might be 832, I believe, was the next size up I could do. So I'm going to move the camera over here and let me see here. There we go. Here we go. Okay. So here's the problem. This is what they come standard with. This came off a battery that was DOA when it arrived. These are 4mm hex head bolts, and I'm not the only one that have complained that these things strip out. They also don't allow you to put a really large lug on here, and these are 100 amp hour batteries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Helicoil, and that's a brand name, or what they call thread insert, insert a thread insert into, come on, focus for me. Um, Put a thread insert into these. Oh my God, this camera sucks. I apologize. Yeah. So let me see if I can get that. I waste more time waiting for this damn camera to focus. Okay, well, it's not going to focus. So these are the two terminals. One appears to have been made out of copper, the other one out of aluminum. So I don't know why. The copper side actually has a number stamped in it, and it is definitely much heavier than the aluminum one. So anyhow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change from that size thread to something like this, which is a quarter 20. Okay. Now, one challenge is I only have 300 thousandths of depth that I can work with between here and down here, and I don't want to go any further than that because I need to maintain the seal here. I can't run through there because there's electrolyte inside the batteries themselves, and if I poke a hole through there, the electrolyte will evaporate over time or just plain leak out, and that would be really bad. So the kits that I got, the Helicoil kits I got, which is one of these right here. Yeah, they were supposed to come with a bottoming tap. And again, I've seen people complain they don't come with a bottoming tap like is advertised. They actually come with I believe it's a start, well, it's a starting tap or a plug tap. Uh, Looks like this. Okay. Now, of course, if you look at that and then you compare it to the actual, where I have to tap, if I get it in frame here, you will see that, yeah, we have a problem. It does not thread all the way down in, and I need thread engagement all the way down to that surface. So what I did is, again, these are not standard taps. These are Helicoil brand, yeah, they're not a standard thread form, okay? So I went out and I bought the proper bottoming tap. But even that will not get me all the way, okay? In order for me to get threads all the way down to the very bottom, whoops, in order for me to get threads all the way to the bottom, if this thing would focus, yet again, it won't. It just sucks. Oh my God. Try that. There we go. So I have to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the taps that come here. I'll take a cutoff wheel. I will a grinding cutoff wheel, and I will cut that off nice and flat. So then I have cutting threads all the way down to the very bottom. It will be perfectly flat. Okay. The other challenge I will have, of course, as some of you may already have figured out, is that when I drill down in with the letter or the letter H, you'll see that the sides do not go all the way down to the bottom, okay? Because of course this is a drill bit and it's angled. So what I've done is closest thing I could get to a letter H. What I did is I bought a 3-flute end mill that I will end up running down in And after I do, go down with the drill bit, and then I will end up with a perfectly flat bottom. So I can get that helicoil to absolutely go all the way down to the very bottom. Okay. Now the helicoil looks like it might stand a little bit above this, which is what I don't want. What I may have to do is I may have to come with a small cutoff wheel and run it right down to where that little where the helicoil starts. Yep, right down to the next one. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Down to the next one. Yeah, and lower that height a little bit. So I'll see how that goes. So yeah, this is going to be a big experiment, and what I'm going to be doing is I'll perform one or two on this piece of aluminum, half-inch thick aluminum. I'll drill down 300 thousandths. I'll run the drill down through, run the end mill down through, run the the bottoming tap down through, then I'll run the modified bottoming tap that will get all the way down in. Then I'll put the helicoil in there, and then I'll see how, I'll see if I can break the tang out of it, because again, they leave a little bit of room in there to kind of snap that tang. Yeah, it's all going to be a big experiment. So yeah, these are these standard ones are no good. Just to give you an idea, um, on some of the terminals, okay, just to show you here, here we go. All right, so this is what I was using on my old battery interconnects, okay, you can see that there. Yeah, I'm going to be using something like this now, okay, no comparison. 1/4 inch diameter hole. This one will accept 2 conductors, and then I have another one where I just need a single conductor, and I believe that one's right here. Um, and so this is number 4. This is number 6, American wire gauge, and again, 1/4 inch hole. So you can see just how much more meat on the bone. And the thing is, the helicoil is steel. So it's not, I'm not going to wear this out by running this, yeah, it's not going to deform as readily as this softer material. So there we go. Okay, that's it. Probably going on to the next part. All right, gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna run any cutting fluid on this because I don't want to use any on the batteries. So yeah, I'm gonna see what happens here. I'm gonna run my RPM up a little bit. Go 250 RPM. And yeah, I guess I'll use fine feed on this. Actually, stop. Make sure I got my zero. Yep, you can see I'm zeroed. So all I gotta do is go down 300 thousandths. Recheck my zero. Yep, good. Up a hair. All right, let's see what this does. Thing there. Right, 236, 250. 290. And 3. There we go. All right. And we shall rinse and repeat. Do another one right next to it. showing up on the camera okay. Closing in on 200. 200. 270. 280. 7. 98. 99. 300. Good. All right. Now we go. The next part will be the end mill. Okay, so now I have the 3-flute end mill in here. I'll go ahead and I had to move the camera so I could actually get, work in a more comfortable position. So I'll go ahead and 0, and I'm going to be running this at 100 RPM. Nice and slow. This end mill is marginally within a few thousandths of an inch smaller than the drilled hole. And as you can see, if I go down to the bottom to try to bottom it out, showing 257. So I'm losing over 40 thousandths of an inch in depth by the nature of having, the angle on the drill bit. So what I'll do is take it up a little bit. And again, I'm at 10 thousandths. So I'll go ahead and, 100 RPM. I'll go ahead and start, and I'll scroll down till I hit 300 thousandths. Going down really easy, no problem. 9, 7, 9, 9, 5, 3. That's it. Stop that. Okay. And go down again, make sure I am zeroed. Yep, I'm zeroed. Go into this hole, take it down again. That's showing about 259 there, but doesn't matter, is what it is. And I will lock this off, and I'll go ahead and run this one down to 300 thousandths. So again, so I'll have that nice flat bottom. Just trying to sneak up on it here. There we go, 300 thousandths. All right, stop there. All right, cool. I don't know if this will show up on camera. Hopefully this focuses. There we go. So 2 flat bottom holes now. Yay. All right, next, be moving over to this machine, the hand tapping machine. All righty. All right, and now we're at the aforementioned hand tapping machine. If you don't have one of these things and you are building a Johnny 5 robot, yeah, you will need one of these, okay? You just will. Yeah, it's the only way to make sure that you get a perfectly a perfect tap that is perpendicular in all axes. Yeah, if you're trying to do it with a, yeah, these are okay if the hole's already started, it's already started straight, but these are notorious for, yep, because people look at it at the wrong angle, it's off this way, it's off that way. Yeah, these are worth their weight in gold. So again, I'm not going to run tapping fluid in here. And I'm using the bottoming tap. I have the starting tap in here. Yeah, the starting tap is here. I have to grind this off. But so I'm going to try this with a bottoming tap and see how it goes. I can feel it biting already, that's for sure. Again, normally I would use tapping fluid. About a half turn or so, and then breaking the chip. And I'm actually going to run this back out of here. Get those chips out of it. Yep, I see a chip down the bottom. See, it's important important that you get those chips out of there. There we go. Real high-tech device there for chip removal. Because of course, you know, they will pack right in there. So, run that down in. There we go. Break the chip. Okay, I can feel it. That's the other thing I love about the hand tapping machine too. You can go like this, you know, or out here, or even, you know, way out here for more, you know, bigger. But yeah, you can really, it's really easy to gauge how hard, you know, how much torque you're applying. So I felt that kind of bottom out. Of course, it's going to have, you know, swarf down in there. So you knock that swarf out. Yep, nice and clear now. I'll run it down in a final time with this particular tap. And that will get me 90% of the way there. I should be able to get maybe another, nope, that's it. That's all the more I'm going to get out of that. Okay. And you can see just from running it in there, tiny little bit, whoops, just that last little bit of chips. So make sure the tap's clean here. This is counterweighted at the back, so it actually will kind of come up on its own when properly adjusted. You want to move the weight further up for smaller threads. This way it's applying less force. This way when you bring it up on its own, it doesn't rip out the last few threads. So, and again, something this size here in aluminum, yeah, I like using the shorter end of this handle. When you feel it binding up, just back off of it. Aluminum is notorious for having like hard and soft spots in it. And see, I can feel it right there. So I see how I instinctively grab for the center there. I don't want to break the tap. That would be extraordinarily bad, especially when I get to the actual battery itself. Run it back down in there. And now see how I'm using the center of it now? Okay, break that chip. Okay, there, feels like I'm bottomed out right there. So I go back. Isn't this a whole lot easier than using, you know, just a regular hand tap? Your productivity and your accuracy on your tapped holes will be greatly improved. Yep, that's bottomed. Be greatly improved, and you will break far, far less taps. I think I've actually only broken one tap using this machine, and I think that was with a 256 tap, so a very small diameter tap. And the tap itself was dull when that occurred. I pressed my luck. I went too far. Hey man, when these taps start getting dull, stop. You know, unless you want to spend the time trying to fish out, yeah, trust me, it's easier and quicker just to buy a new tap. So there we go, both holes tapped. Okay, all the way to the bottom. It looks like there's sport. Yeah, a little bit of. Might as well clean this up just for. There we go. There we go. So there's that. So hopefully this won't take forever. And you know, if you see a shirt change, well, then that means it's tomorrow. But I'm going to go ahead and start working on this, trying to get a flat surface on here and thread so I can thread it that last couple threads, because I'll show it here on video. I don't know if it'll show up. Let me see here. There. It's not, the threads are not all the way to the bottom. And I could probably better demonstrate that by this. See, this has a little holder in here, but you can see the, yep, there's going to be a portion of it that's not threaded. And I want those threads to go all the way down. So, all right, there we go. On to the next part, which will be after I get done grinding upon this. Alrighty, okay, same shirts on, so yeah, that actually went easier than I thought it might. So let me see here. So this is the one I cut off using a 14-inch cut-off saw. Okay, and this is the bit I removed. Oops, let me see if I can. There we go. And I looked at under a 40x magnifier. Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Again, it comes in handy. He bought that. One of my teammates, Andrew Freeberg, bought that for me. And it raised a burr on one of the, so I just took a file and knocked those tiny little burrs off to try to make it as nice as possible. Now, this is a case where I'm not going to use the rigidity of the machine to run this all the way down in. I'm actually going to use the hand tap. The holes, the tap's already started, and I need that delicate feel uh, for what the cutter is doing. So actually what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start this in here very gingerly, because remember, there's no lead into these threads on this tap. So it's going to be, let me try to do it this way so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, yeah. So I don't want to use the machine. It might be a little bit too rigid. I want to feel, there we go. There now I can, yep. There we go. So now that's going down in. Again, I'm not going to use the tapping fluid. And try to do this here for the camera to see. Where am I at? Oh, up here. Run that down in. Very gingerly. There, I can feel it biting. So I'm going to go very easy on this. And that did not gain me much at all, I don't think. Maybe 3, oh wait, it's going a little bit more now. Again, since I cut that off like that, those cutters are not, not to the exact profile. I can see there's swarf. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to run it down in one final time here. Okay, and that looks pretty good. Trying to stay in frame here, folks. I know it's go, and I think that's it. That's it. That's as good as it gets right there. So let me see. I don't know if this is the one I just ran down into. I don't know if it's going to show up here. You should be able to see, but the thread should be all the way down to the bottom now. As opposed to this side over here. Yeah, that side's not. I'm just trying to look myself. Yeah, that other side, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's. I'm going to try one more time to see if I can. That goes down any further. It's so difficult to tell. That's it right there. Yeah, that's it. I may, based upon these, I'm going to try just a hair bit of cutting fluid there. Keep it right handy. I'm just going to try a tiny little bit. I don't think that will hurt when I do the batteries, and I don't like that sort of, it being so darn dry for that tap. Here we go again. Yep, there it's running down in. Okay, put the tap handle on. And there we go. So right about there. So whatever I get from here, that's, so I got a quarter turn, a little over a quarter turn. There we go. Run that out. So I got an extra quarter turn of thread. We can see that it is cutting. Oops. You can see the chips on there. So it is cutting. And I'll run that in there one final time. There we go. A little bit more. So I'm going to say I gained over half a turn worth of threads. So that's something, hey. Yeah, get a little bit more out of it. And there we go. So there's the two holes now. I'll know better when I look at the video if I seen any real difference. But it did cut some more, so. Okay, so next video, which this video is going to be too long, that will be where I run a helicoil down in and see what happens. Alrighty, that's it. Hope you learned something. And I learned that my mouse is over here. And of course, the monkey pushes the button.